Impression of German finance. Why study the German financial system? With 4 clear and impressive facts attracted me to carry out this research. Firstly, Germany has handled the relationship between finance and the real economy well. As a developed economy that has achieved modernization, Germany's manufacturing value added to GDP has remained above 20% for a long time, ranking among the highest among major developed economies. However, in 2018, the financial industry value added to GDP was only 3.7%. Secondly, Germany has maintained long-term financial stability. Since World War II, Germany has hardly experienced a major financial crisis, especially from 2008 to 2012. Although Germany was at the center of the financial crisis in the United States and Europe, it still demonstrated good resilience in this round of crisis. Mainstream scholars and the media rarely mentioned the so-called financial crisis or debt crisis in Germany. Under the impact of the COVID-19, Germany's financial industry will be generally stable in 2020. And its economic contraction will be smaller than that of most EU member countries. Thirdly, there are more nice similarities between Germany and China in terms of economic and financial development paths and institutional arrangements. For example, the dominant characteristics of banks in the financial systems of both China and Germany are very obvious. With the high proportion of state-owned or public financial institutions, both countries attach great importance to the development of the real economy and have export-oriented characteristics. Both countries implement continental legal systems and so on. Fourthly, there has been more research on the UK, US, and Japan in China, and less attention has been paid to the German financial system. There are not many Chinese literature on the German financial system, and the lack of analytical analysis and even inaccurate factual descriptions may be misleading. Of course, the motivation that directly drives us to study the German financial system is still a strong question. Understanding China's economy has entered the stage of high-quality development and is accelerating to form a dual circulation with domestic circulation as the main body and domestic and international double circulation promoting each other, which puts forward higher requirements for the adaptability, competitiveness and inclusiveness of the financial system. Is China's financial system capable of carrying out new missions? How can we be competent in the process of financial development, reform and regulation? How can we scientifically learn from international good practices? What can we learn from the market-oriented financial model of the United States and the United States? What cannot we learn? How can we examine a country's financial development from a political, economic, social, cultural, and historical perspective and draw objective conclusions? What foundations need to be consolidated in the evolution of the financial system? The question of overcoming inertia and the like is necessary for China to build a modern financial system. Street arting from financial reform. For this reason, I gradually turned my attention to Germany to learn from its beneficial experience and solve our own problems. Question. From international comparative research, it can be seen that the German financial system is very distinctive. Germany emphasizes a sense of order, overall structural stability, and clear hierarchy. The evolution process has maintained its own characteristics. At the same time, the successes and failures of the German financial system are thought-provoking and can bring many inspirations for exploring China's financial development path. This book starts from a problem-oriented and goal-oriented perspective, supplemented by a comparative analysis with the financial systems of the United States, the United Kingdom, Japan, China, and the Eurozone, aiming to provide inspiration for China's financial reform on how to learn from the experience of Germany based on a clear understanding of the basic facts and internal operational logic of the German financial system, rather than being a broad concept. The difficulty of transforming this concept lies in encountering the resistance of traditional ideology and the covert boycott of vested interest groups. Another prerequisite is the upgrade of the governance concept, that is, the upgrade of the version of making decisions for the people, which is undertaken by everyone, upgrading from limited liability to a limited and bounded management model that leads social rules and maintains their fair execution. Previously, the direct participation of the state in the operation of the economy inevitably led to self-interest, resulting in impure motives for the state. However, when the state is above economic interests and only serves as the creator and maintainer of the system, the transformation of its role creates a natural demand for the principles of fairness and justice. The controversial labor contract law, to some extent, is a manifestation of the shift in national motivation from favoring enterprises to providing universal coverage for the interests of workers. It is a transition from a focus on efficiency first to a balance between fairness. Despite its poor timing, it is still a landmark milestone, because the more a few people resist, the more they can reflect that it actually represents the interests of the majority and touches the pain points of interest groups. At present, it is the Ministry of Power that undermines the principles of fairness and justice, distorts the state's motives seriously, and causes even greater public discontent. The phenomenon of door-oriented, departmental interest-oriented, and interest group-oriented. Many authorities use the name of the state to harm the people and enrich the private sector, and practice monopoly under the guise of maintaining fairness and justice. This distorts the essence and core of the national political system, which means that the state represents the interests of the entire society and the nation, and implements its representation through various state machines. However, in reality, various state machines become representatives of the state and fulfill the interests of their own departments in the process of representation. This deviation is the source of social contradictions at this stage. The real reason for the large-scale mass incident in Wengan County, Guizhou, is that the government has repeatedly violated the interests of the masses in mineral resources development, resettlement, building demolition and other work, and in the process of handling conflicts, disputes and mass incidents. Some cadres have a rough style, simple working methods and random use of police force. Although the stock market was in a mess in the first half of the year, there were still over billion yuan in stamp duty receipts, and local state-owned asset management commissions are still preparing to queue up local state-owned enterprises opportunities for funds. Since the beginning of FIS, inconsistent words and actions constantly applying to increase investment quotas while loudly short-selling the stock market have been exploiting the policy uncertainty, instability, and unpredictability of the Chinese stock market to profit. On the other hand, the more complex a system is, the more stable it may be. On May, China's A-share market unexpectedly fell % due to an increase in stamp duty. On the same day, the H-share market only fell % while the B-share market fell more than %. This phenomenon has been referred to by foreign media as the strange phenomenon of Chinese corporate stock prices. For foreign investors, the chaos of China's finance is evident. In addition, China's finance is opening up to the outside world, and in the face of various disturbances from external forces, Hong Kong can play a buffering role to some extent. It can be foreseen that China's finance will be forced to develop greatly in the process of being utilized, and the stability of complex system self-organization. However, the complexity and chaos of the financial field itself not only confuse foreign financial capital, but also the management of China. It can only be a matter of cracking down on the situation and being dragged away by the situation. Fourthly, the Chinese-style social liquidation is the most peaceful. It is common around the world that too much funds need to be liquidated. The law is only expressed differently in different economies. In the classic market economy, the outbreak of financial crises became the main way to evaporate funds and close positions. But it brought about severe economic fluctuations and social unrest. For example, the Asian financial crisis caused many large companies to go bankrupt. In South Korea, people also used their household gold products to help the government overcome difficulties. Under China's special way of settling funds, the administrative liquidation has replaced the severe financial crisis. The management often directly forces project shutdowns in the form of policy directives, causing the chain of huge funds to instantly achieving the effect of cooling and evaporating. During this process, banks with government guarantees played the role of shock absorbers. For example, the T-Bund incident completely wiped out the billion yuan loans of 6 financial institutions, forcing banks to follow the company and suffer significant losses. From this perspective, the market economy with Chinese characteristics has alienated the classic expression of financial crisis and to some extent ensured the smooth operation of the economy. But this seems to rising to a high point. The total market value of listed companies in the Shanghai and Shenzhen stock markets has experienced a fission growth. reaching trillion yuan, of which the market value of A shares is trillion yuan, becoming the largest emerging market and the fourth largest securities market in the world. The securitization rate of China's economy has continuously crossed the threshold of percent from percent a year ago, which is comparable to the level of the international mature market. A number of aircraft carriers, such as PetroChina, China Shenhua, China Co-Construction Bank, China Railway Group Limited, have achieved securitization through the issuance of new shares through IPO. A number of central armies, such as China Shipbuilding, Xi'an Aircraft International and Dongfeng Electric Machinery, have realized securitization through overall listing. A large number of national team companies such as NFC, CNOOC Haisheng and Huadian Energy have realized securitization through. Future society will be people-oriented, and meeting people's various emotional needs will become the source of new business opportunities. Neil Pinker proposed in New Thinking that the 6 senses that the right brain era should possess include a sense of design, storytelling, symphony, empathy, entertainment, and exploration of meaning. And business opportunities lie in the experience of these 6 or even more emotional needs, such as doctors using laughter, yoga, entertainment to heal patients, transforming old factories into modern office spaces with a sense of design, the opening of the Cube-era empathy of high school, university, white-collar SNS social network services on the campus network will undoubtedly bring about the reconstruction of industrial boundaries, leading to the emergence of a large number of new industries and former TOS. On the other hand, whether it's the older generation who thinks with the left brain or the new generation who thinks with the right brain, in this comprehensive integration in the era of unity, whoever can represent the interests of the greatest majority will ultimately win. Deng Xiaoping adhered to the 4 cardinal principles, turning right to carry out reform, opening up and marketization, and took the middle path of giving priority to efficiency and giving consideration to fairness, so that China got rid of the ideological struggle and rose rapidly, relying on economic development. The same applies to business opportunities. Whoever can combine left brain and right brain can free from constraints and allow various elements to fuse and collide under the catalysis of creativity and imagination so that they are no longer just looking for business opportunities, but creating them. The left and right brain connection may open up business opportunities from 3 aspects. One is the application of new technologies in the wave of wisdom, ecological civilization, financial civilization, etc. under the impact of various right brainization approaches. It will upgrade at a faster pace and become a carrier for generating business opportunities. Secondly, various countries may show their respective skills in seizing the commanding heights of wisdom. For example, the United States has already launched ERIC plan to study wisdom. And there are still people in China who want to build smart banks. This trend will make people pay more attention to balancing left and right, and various alternative ideas such as whether software can be downloaded and memorized in the future will bring new business opportunities and sparks. Thirdly, for most enterprises, it is difficult to achieve a left and right brain connection. So it may be the norm to be forced to upgrade the version due to being dragged by the situation. A small number of enterprises with unique thinking will unleash their creative imagination, see through changes in the situation, grasp policy trends, and quickly occupy techno